3,000-year-old Bible. Hidden prophecies that could change everything. Imagine an ancient book, its pages worn with time, cradled in the hands of history for thousands of years. A book that holds secrets, prophecies, and insights into the very fabric of human existence. Now picture this. This ancient Bible has not only stood the test of time, but is believed to contain revelations that could unravel mysteries of the past, present, and future. Could it hold the key to understanding events unfolding today? Could it predict the destiny of humanity? As the dust is swept away from these 3,000-year-old texts, the answers within might just change everything we know, or thought we knew, about life, faith, and the fate of the world. This is not just a story of faith, but of intrigue, mystery, and urgency. The ancient prophecies within this Bible are said to speak to the core of human existence, revealing truths that echo through the ages. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, the chilling relevance of these words demands attention. Let us journey together through the remarkable history of this ancient text, its uncanny predictions, and the possibilities of what the future holds, as told by scholars, theologians, and those who dare to believe. If you're intrigued by these profound questions and want to be part of this exploration, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more captivating discussions. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. Section 1. Ancient Prophecies. The discovery of the 3,000-year-old Bible unfolds as a narrative steeped in intrigue, a tale of serendipity, and the profound mysteries of time. Unearthed from a forgotten vault buried beneath layers of rock and sediment, the ancient text was shielded from decay by the very elements that might have destroyed it. Found in a remote desert region, its location is thought to have been a center of ancient civilization, a place now rendered barren and lifeless. For centuries, the vault remained hidden, its entrance obscured by shifting sands and geological upheavals, until a chance excavation uncovered its secrets. The manuscript's discovery has been heralded as one of the most significant archaeological finds of the modern era. Researchers believe the text predates the earliest known manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible by nearly a millennium, placing it in a historical context that challenges long-held beliefs about the origins and transmission of sacred scripture. Written on delicate parchment, preserved by a combination of arid conditions and the sealed nature of its resting place, the text is remarkably intact, its characters etched in a script that predates even the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. What makes this ancient Bible truly extraordinary is not just its antiquity, but the prophecies contained within its pages, prophecies that are astonishingly detailed, apocalyptic in nature, and disturbingly relevant to the modern world. Far from being mere moral exhortations or historical accounts, these texts seem to offer a window into events that span both past and future. Their discovery has reignited debates about the nature of divine inspiration, the authenticity of prophecy, and humanity's ability, or inability, to alter its destined path. The prophecies contained within the ancient Bible have captivated theologians, historians, and the general public alike, primarily due to their specificity and eerie resonance with contemporary events. Unlike the cryptic and allegorical tone of many ancient prophetic texts, these passages stand out for their clarity and precision, presenting visions of upheaval and transformation that seem to transcend time. One of the most striking prophecies describes the demise of great civilizations. The text speaks of a great city divided and burned, its walls crumbling, and its people scattered like ash upon the wind. While such imagery might traditionally evoke the fall of ancient cities like Babylon or Rome, Many have drawn parallels to more recent events. The phrase, "a city divided," has been interpreted by some to reflect modern geopolitical tensions, with comparisons made to Berlin during the Cold War, or even the cultural and political divides within cities like New York or London. The imagery of fire and destruction has also been linked to the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center. The specificity of a great city and the imagery of scattering evoke haunting parallels to the chaos of that day. Whether these connections are mere coincidences or evidence of a chillingly accurate prediction remains a subject of intense debate among scholars. Perhaps the most provocative prophecy in the text speaks of a mark upon the flesh, without which none shall trade or eat. This passage has ignited theological and philosophical discussions about its implications. In the ancient context, the imagery of a mark could have referred to literal branding or symbolic allegiance. However, in today's technological landscape, interpretations have taken on new dimensions. Many theologians speculate that this prophecy might refer to modern developments such as biometric identification systems, digital currencies, or even the rise of implantable microchips. In an age where digital wallets and cashless economies are becoming the norm, the idea of a mark that governs access to commerce seems less far-fetched. Critics, however, caution against overinterpretation, arguing that such readings might be influenced more by contemporary anxieties than the text's original intent. Another passage that has captured the imagination of researchers describes a series of celestial events: stars falling and the heavens trembling. While ancient readers might have interpreted such imagery as symbolic or metaphysical, modern scholars have linked it to observable astronomical phenomena. Meteor showers, solar eclipses, and comet appearances have all been proposed as possible correlations to this prophecy. However, the description of the heavens trembling has led some to speculate about a yet-to-occur celestial event, perhaps an asteroid impact or a supernova visible from Earth. Such an event, they argue, could have profound implications for humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. Others suggest that this prophecy may allude to the growing concerns about space debris and the militarization of space, issues that have taken on new urgency in recent decades. The chilling accuracy with which these ancient prophecies seem to mirror modern concerns has prompted some to view the text as a divine warning, a message from the past meant to guide humanity's future. The description of natural disasters resonates deeply in an era of climate crisis. Phrases such as "a time when the seas will rise and the earth will quake in fury" have been interpreted as references to rising sea levels, earthquakes, and other climate-related catastrophes that have become increasingly frequent and severe. Moreover, the emphasis on social and economic systems, symbolized by the Mark prophecy, strikes a chord in a world grappling with the ethical implications of technological advancement. As societies become more interconnected and dependent on digital systems, the questions raised by this prophecy about freedom, control, and identity are more relevant than ever. Critics argue that the apparent connections between these ancient prophecies and contemporary events may be the result of selective interpretation. They point out that many prophetic texts are deliberately ambiguous, allowing them to be applied to a wide range of situations. Yet, even skeptics cannot deny the profound impact these texts have had on those who study them. As researchers continue to analyze the ancient Bible, its prophecies serve as both a warning and an invitation to reflect. Whether viewed as divine foreknowledge or as the product of an ancient society grappling with its own fears and aspirations, these texts compel us to consider the paths we are charting as individuals and as a species. The discovery of these prophecies is not merely an archaeological milestone. It is a reminder of the timeless questions that have always haunted humanity. Are we the authors of our destiny, or are we bound to follow a script written long before we were born? Section 2. Predictions fulfilled. Prophecies have always held a dual power. They connect the mysteries of the past with the realities of the present, while leaving space for speculation about the future. The ancient Bible's predictions, with their chilling specificity, invite us to examine whether they are mere coincidences, creative interpretations, or something far more profound, a genuine glimpse into the divine or the inevitable rhythms of history. As scholars meticulously analyze the text, they uncover striking parallels between its prophecies and historical events. While skeptics dismiss these connections as coincidental or the result of overzealous interpretation, the sheer detail and relevance of the predictions have left even hardened critics in awe. This duality, the tension between faith and reason, has sparked global debate and captivated the imaginations of millions. One of the most chilling passages describes a leader who will rise from the east, wielding unparalleled power before meeting a catastrophic end. A ruler shall rise from the east, whose voice commands the multitudes, but whose reign will end in fire and ashes. This prophecy has been linked to various figures throughout history. Some scholars associate it with Alexander the Great, whose meteoric rise began in Macedonia, but whose conquests stretched eastward into Persia, India, and beyond. Others point to Genghis Khan, whose unification of Mongol tribes and vast empire building fits the description of a ruler commanding multitudes. His legacy, however, was marred by destruction, with cities razed and countless lives lost, an echo of the fire and ashes described in the prophecy. More modern interpretations suggest this ruler could represent a contemporary political figure. The meteoric rise and subsequent downfall of authoritarian leaders in the 20th and 21st centuries, from Adolf Hitler to Saddam Hussein, have led many to believe that this prophecy transcends any single individual, serving instead as a template for the rise and fall of powerful figures throughout history. Another prophecy that has captivated scholars speaks of a time when the earth itself will rebel against its inhabitants. The earth shall split asunder and swallow nations whole. The seas will rise to cover the proud cities of men. Initially dismissed as metaphorical, this passage has taken on new significance in light of recent natural disasters. Geologists have noted its unsettling resemblance to seismic and climatic events, particularly major earthquakes and tsunamis. For instance, the catastrophic earthquake that struck Haiti in 2010, killing over 200,000 people, and the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan, which unleashed a devastating nuclear disaster, have been cited as possible fulfillments of this prophecy. The imagery of the earth swallowing nations is eerily reminiscent of the way entire regions were destroyed, leaving cities and villages in ruins. Climate scientists, too, have weighed in, pointing to the prophecy's description of rising seas as an unsettling forecast of global warming and its impact on coastal cities. In an age when melting ice caps threaten to submerge entire nations, the ancient text's warnings feel less like archaic poetry and more like a prescient critique of humanity's ecological recklessness. A third prophecy speaks of celestial events. The stars shall fall from the heavens, and the skies will be as black as the void. While ancient readers may have interpreted this as a metaphor for societal collapse or divine judgment, modern astronomers have considered its potential connections to astronomical phenomena. Historical events, such as the Leonid meteor storm of 1833, when thousands of meteors lit up the night sky, offer one potential parallel. At the time, Many viewed the event as an omen, tying it to religious prophecies of the end times. In recent years, concerns about asteroids and space debris have brought new urgency to this prophecy. NASA's planetary defense programs aim to identify and deflect objects that could pose a catastrophic threat to Earth, lending a haunting relevance to the ancient text's warnings about celestial upheaval. The discovery of such seemingly fulfilled prophecies has divided experts across disciplines. On one hand, skeptics argue that humans are prone to pattern recognition, often imposing meaning on unrelated events. Dr. Sarah Reinhardt, a leading biblical scholar, explains, "The specificity of these prophecies is extraordinary, but we must acknowledge humanity's natural tendency to find patterns in chaos. Our brains are wired to seek connections, especially when faced with uncertainty." Reinhardt's perspective suggests that the prophecies may be less about predicting the future and more about reflecting timeless human fears, war, natural disasters, and the fragility of life. On the other hand, proponents of a more literal interpretation see these prophecies as undeniable evidence of divine foreknowledge. Reverend Jonathan Hale, a prominent theologian, counters, "This is no mere coincidence. These prophecies are a divine thread, woven into the tapestry of human history. They are not just warnings but signposts, guiding us through the chaos of existence." Hale's view resonates with those who see the ancient Bible as a testament to a higher power that transcends time, offering glimpses of humanity's destiny while inviting us to ponder our role in shaping it. The most unsettling aspect of these prophecies is their dual nature. They can be seen as reflections of universal truths, manifestations of humanity's collective anxieties, or as precise predictions of specific events. The passage about natural disasters, for instance, could simply mirror humanity's enduring fear of nature's power. Yet, the remarkable alignment between these ancient words and actual events raises profound questions. Could these texts serve as a warning from beyond time itself? If so, what do they demand of us? Are they calls to repentance, invitations to change our ways, or merely reminders of the inevitable cycles of history? The debate over the ancient Bible's fulfilled prophecies highlights a fundamental tension between faith and reason. For some, these predictions are proof of divine intervention, a testament to a higher power that watches over human history. For others, they are artifacts of human imagination, products of a world where people sought meaning in chaos. Regardless of one's perspective, the ancient prophecies compel us to reflect on the fragility of civilization, the forces that shape our lives, and the mysteries that transcend our understanding. Whether coincidence or divine revelation, they remind us that history is not merely a record of the past, but a living narrative that continues to unfold. In this narrative, the ancient Bible stands as a beacon, a guide, a warning, and a challenge to the modern world. Section 3. What the Future Holds. The ancient Bible's pages, steeped in cryptic symbolism and strikingly specific imagery, speak not only of the past and present, but also of an as-yet uncertain future. While many of its prophecies seem to align with historical events, others remain shrouded in mystery or loom as ominous warnings. These unfulfilled predictions have sparked intense debate among theologians, scientists, and philosophers, as their implications challenge humanity to confront profound existential questions. One of the most haunting passages describes a global catastrophe. "A time shall come when the earth will be consumed by fire, and the waters will turn bitter, leaving nations in despair." This vivid imagery has been linked to several potential future scenarios. Environmental scientists draw parallels between this prophecy and the accelerating effects of climate change. The fire is seen as a metaphor for the devastating wildfires that have ravaged continents like Australia, North America, and Europe in recent years. These infernos, fueled by rising temperatures and prolonged droughts, have already wreaked havoc on ecosystems and human livelihoods. The phrase, "waters will turn bitter," resonates with growing concerns about water scarcity and pollution. Experts warn that over-extraction of groundwater, industrial contamination, and salinization of freshwater sources could render potable water increasingly scarce, plunging millions into crisis. The salinity levels of critical rivers and lakes are rising, and bitter waters could signify a world struggling to sustain its most vital resource. Others interpret the prophecy in a darker vein, associating it with nuclear warfare. In this context, the fire could represent nuclear explosions, while the bitter waters might allude to radioactive contamination, recalling historical events like the Chernobyl disaster or the devastation caused by atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The global proliferation of nuclear weapons, coupled with escalating geopolitical tensions, lends an unsettling plausibility to this reading. More speculative interpretations link the prophecy to an asteroid impact, citing its apocalyptic tone and references to fire and widespread destruction. Scientists have identified thousands of near-Earth objects, some of which pose a theoretical threat to our planet. An asteroid collision could ignite massive wildfires, alter the atmosphere, and disrupt water supplies, aligning with the dire vision of this ancient text. Another enigmatic prophecy foretells a unification of nations followed by disarray. A unifying voice shall call the nations together, only to scatter them in chaos and confusion. This passage has sparked debate about its possible meanings, with interpretations ranging from political alliances to advancements in technology. In recent history, efforts at global unity, such as the formation of the United Nations or multinational treaties, have occasionally unraveled into conflict and division. Some believe the prophecy points to the rise and fall of such coalitions, reflecting humanity's recurring struggle to balance cooperation with self-interest. Others suggest the unifying voice could represent the rise of artificial intelligence. As AI systems like natural language processors and decision-making algorithms grow more influential, they possess the potential to unite humanity in unprecedented ways, streamlining governance, enhancing communication, and solving global problems. Yet the warning of chaos could signify the dangers of over-reliance on AI, including ethical dilemmas, loss of control, and unintended consequences. Alternatively, the voice may allude to a charismatic global leader or movement that garners widespread support before succumbing to corruption, dissent, or betrayal. History is replete with examples of revolutions and reform movements that begin with idealistic unity only to fragment into disillusionment and chaos. What makes these interpretations so compelling and unsettling is their applicability to multiple scenarios. The ambiguity of the prophecy ensures its relevance, allowing each generation to see their challenges and fears reflected in its words. The unfulfilled prophecies have ignited passionate responses from both theologians and secular scholars, each bringing their perspectives to bear on the text's enduring relevance. For many theologians, these predictions are a divine wake-up call. Reverend Jonathan Hale, a leading proponent of the prophetic tradition, argues that the survival of this ancient Bible is itself a miracle. God preserved this text for such a time as this, to awaken humanity to the truth and guide us through the darkness. These prophecies are not mere warnings. They are a roadmap to redemption. Hale sees the prophecies as a reminder of humanity's responsibility to steward the earth, seek justice, and prepare for an ultimate reckoning. In his view, ignoring these warnings risks catastrophic consequences, not just for individuals, but for the entire planet. Others, however, take a more secular approach. Dr. Sarah Reinhardt, a prominent biblical historian, warns against interpreting the text too literally. We must be cautious about investing too much faith in ancient writings. These prophecies may be allegories, reflecting the fears and aspirations of their time. Our energy is better spent addressing today's crises with tangible solutions, rather than searching for answers in cryptic texts. For Reinhardt, the prophecies are less about predicting the future and more about understanding the human psyche. They reflect timeless concerns, war, natural disasters, and the fragility of society that continue to shape our collective consciousness. One of the most puzzling aspects of the ancient Bible is how its prophecies resonate so profoundly in modern times. How could a text written 3,000 years ago speak so directly to contemporary challenges like climate change, technological disruption, and global political instability? Some argue that this relevance stems from the cyclical nature of history. Human civilizations, despite their advancements, have always faced existential threats, be they environmental, technological, or social. The ancient Bible's prophecies, in this sense, are reflections of universal truths that transcend time. Others, however, view the text's survival as evidence of divine providence. For believers, the prophecies are not just relevant, they are urgent, calling humanity to confront its moral failings and prepare for the fulfillment of God's plan. Whether viewed through the lens of faith or reason, the ancient Bible's unfulfilled prophecies demand reflection and action. They challenge us to consider the paths we are charting as individuals, societies, and a global community. Are we stewards of a fragile planet, caretakers of a shared destiny, or unwitting participants in an unfolding divine narrative? As humanity grapples with unprecedented challenges, these ancient words serve as both a warning and a guide. They remind us that while the future remains uncertain, the choices we make today will shape the legacy we leave behind. Whether the earth is consumed by fire, united under a single voice, or scattered into chaos, the ancient Bible invites us to confront these possibilities with courage, humility, and a renewed sense of purpose.